Just days after making their first splash by signing Dalen Wright, the Milwaukee Bucks are at it again, this time for their ever-expanding backcourt. But is this signing enough to add stock into the Milwaukee Bucks going into next season? I'm Jake Finnerty, and welcome on into Bucks Digest to keep it locked on all things Milwaukee Bucks. Make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. Now, this signing, did I have it on my radar? No. Did I really even take a look at this guy going into the offseason? Not fully, but am I pleased with what we did here in Milwaukee, getting him to be a Buck? Yes, I am, because Taurean Prince is headed to the Deer District, averaging around 9 points a game, around 3 rebounds a game, and around assists and a half a game with the Lakers last season. He's shooting 39% from beyond the arc. Around 60% of his shots are from beyond the arc. And he's even shooting 36% on corner threes as well. Taurean Prince isn't a guy that you'd have on your list first if you're looking for a guy who is going for what the Bucks were originally looking for. And that's versatility on defense, a strong defender. However, should his defense really be that overlooked? Because I think Taurean Prince here has a very unique build in the fact of he can play both forward positions. He's not an awful defender, but he can certainly defend in whatever way he needs to, in a switch scheme, in different defensive schemings that you really need to get into, and what Doc Rivers, I think, is going for. But also, especially when we're talking about Dalen Wright, as mentioned before, as our first free agent signing, Dalen Wright can provide the playmaking. Taurean Prince can provide a little bit more on the offensive end, scoring-wise, providing some of those threes here and there, especially when that second unit comes on. I think it's really important to think as well, you're building a lot of this team around Giannis, of course. Giannis is the face of the franchise. But Giannis also can come onto the floor and slide into that 5 spot. Taurean Prince can be a guy that can slide into the 4 and play a stretch role, where he is playing versatile defense, playing a lot of whatever they need him to defensively, but also able to provide some offense for this team, and especially for Giannis, as Giannis drives down the lane, his shooting percentage is not that great with an outside jumper, so he can find a guy like Taurean Prince on the outside on a corner 3, and he can hit that. Now, this is really reminding me of a guy who the Milwaukee Bucks had a couple of years ago for a few games, but had him for also their championship run. And that's PJ Tucker. I think PJ Tucker is a really good comparison on how Taurean Prince will fit into this team. A stretch forward who will provide defense when needed, who can also provide that corner 3 when really wanted. However, I think it's a little bit more of we're now hitting this upgrade button, and we're seeing Taurean Prince here in a Bucks uniform rather than in that Lakers jersey, in a Bucks uniform where he's helping Giannis, he's helping the team in any way that he can, because this is exactly what the Bucks needed in case it was a little bit up in the air. You're losing out on Jay Crowder. You're losing out on Danilo Gallinari, who was brought in after a buyout. This is exactly what fills that hole and actually bumps it up even more. Now, this goes as a signing under the radar. Maybe some may even call it sneaky, but Taurean Prince really might be a key factor for what the Bucks are now to do moving forward. Of course, all the rumblings about Brook Lopez that have been mentioned and where he may end up and what they're looking for in return for him. I think Taurean Prince is going to be a big central part of this second unit. Now, how do we really think he's going to perform? Well, as just mentioned with PJ Tucker, let's hope it can end up the same way that Tucker did, raising the Larry O'Brien trophy there at the end of the season and becoming NBA champion PJ Tucker. Maybe NBA champion Taurean Prince sounds a little bit better than that going into next season. Let me know what you think of the signing down below in the comments, and keep it locked here on Bucks Digest.